Hello and welcome to the Limitless Landscapers podcast. I'm Charlotte.
And I'm Paula.
And today we're talking about when is the right time to really focus on your marketing and bringing in clients. Is it now as we head into the quiet period, or is it when spring's right around the corner? We're going to discuss it.
As the co-founders of the Landscaper Circle, we help you get more money, time and freedom to become limitless. Through our experiences as fellow landscapers and our tried and tested methods, if you want help with your marketing, managing or growing your business, you've definitely come to the right place. If you're a landscaper, garden designer or supplier to the industry, then hit subscribe so you never miss an episode. Now, let's get back to the show.
So, Paula.
So this podcast has come off the back of having a really good meeting with our members this month, and something that was a common thread between them all was they're really busy with work, but they also are well aware that they have a funnel to fill in time for spring. So we did discuss some ideas to basically make their marketing work for them and what to focus on, and also most importantly not to add something in that's going to overwhelm them and they're not going to get much done. So me and Charlotte are pretty much going to discuss this and more, but to start with, really what my first advice then was, they should be marketing, and we all should be marketing all year round. Doesn't matter what your level of inquiries are based or how busy you are, you should really be having a marketing element out there, whether it's brand awareness or actually generating more leads through other marketing avenues. You should be doing it all year round, because really you need to look at filling your funnel. And your funnel is essentially all your marketing activities do is generate leads to fill that funnel. And then as they go through the funnel, they filter out. So they filter out into bad inquiries, good inquiries, customers, referrals, etc. So marketing is all about filling that funnel.
Yeah, and it's not to say that the marketing plan will stay the same the whole year round. You may implement ads during the winter. You may change the amount of posts you're doing during the summer to accommodate that busyness, but you're still having some form of consistent marketing out there.
Yeah, and I think the key is we don't want you to feel overwhelmed, because there is so many marketing avenues you can do. But it's also about finding what works for your business and what you can and can't do in the time you have. So I know we've touched on this in numerous podcasts before, but essentially the first thing to do is to review your marketing strategies as they are now. So Charlotte, you're the pro at this.
So the best place to start is look at the inquiries you've had and see, right, out of the 50 of them that have inquired, 10 of them actually booked a consultation, 5 of them became a client. And then really niche down and see, right, those people that became clients, those really good inquiries, where did they come from? If you're getting 25 inquiries from Google ads, but none of them are becoming clients, you need to look at the analysis of, right, what keywords did they click on? What ad? Can you eliminate that and try and focus on some of the others? Or it could be that it's all coming from social media, your good inquiries, therefore really focus on that and ditch the ads for now. So you need to get a good understanding of where your inquiries are coming from, and the good inquiries particularly, so that you can make an informed decision about what marketing you have moving forward. And also you can look at things such as the reports that a lot of systems provide. So obviously the social media platforms all have insights, your email, if you're doing email, Google ads, they all have reports, just to see if you are spending money on ads, how much you're spending, and compare that to how many clients you've got from it. And also look at what's performing well. So on your social media, what's performing well, what are people engaging with, what posts are people clicking through to the website on. Those are the things you want to be looking out for that are really key, because before we can say looking at the future, we need to look at what's happening now.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing people miss out. And also a step prior to that is making sure you actually have an inquiry log, an active and used inquiry log. And what I do in my business is input in every single inquiry I get, even if it's rubbish, even if I've had the phone number, phone them back and they're not for me, it goes on the log, because then I can see where they've come from. I can see exactly how many leads we had in. It's not all about the customers that come off it. It also, you need to know how many leads you're actually getting in, not just the ones that you wanted to put on there. So the ones that you've actually done some business with, because that can skew conversion rates and sales conversions if you go down that route later on. The next thing I would say is whatever you find is working for you. So for instance, if Google Ads is working well, bringing in the right clients, spend more money. focus more on that keyword that's generating the best clients and do more of it. And that could be anything. So again, if it applies to social media, maybe Instagram's working better than Facebook, spend more time on Instagram and just have your Facebook there as brand awareness. So just focus on what works, because if it's working and generating inquiries and good sales, then you need to focus more time, more effort, more money on those marketing strategies. Once you've done that, so you've reviewed, you've had a look at what works, and you're spending more time and you've got a plan on how you're going to do more on that particular platform or that strategy, then it's looking at what other strategy could you add into the mix to fully fill your funnel.
Yeah, and I think something wise to think about here is that we speak to a lot of our members in the community and they go, oh, I want to do a newsletter, I want to do social media, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do this. And it can become quite overwhelming with the amount of choice that you have when you're looking at adding a new strategy in. What I would really recommend doing is taking a step back and going, where do I think my ideal client, go back to your ideal client profile, your avatar, where are they going to be hanging out? But also looking at how effective it's going to be for the amount of time or money you've got to spend. So I spoke to our members today about newsletters. Email marketing, something that's relatively easy to implement and quick to implement, but is highly effective. I know people are, oh, you get 100 emails today, it's no longer effective. It is. All of our members, majority of, have come from email. Yes, they may have found us on social and come through to our email, but they've all converted into sales from our email list. So even if it's just like Paula's design and landscaping business, sending an email once a month, if that's adding value or it's interesting to them, it's of value to the client and intriguing, piques their interest, then it's an effective marketing strategy to use and you will get sales or whatever your goal is with that. So it's not only about looking at what you want to do, but what you can actually do with the time and money you have.
Yeah, because you've got to be aware that some strategies, particularly if you're going to go down the advertising route, whether that's in print, online, or a mixture of both, that's going to require a lot of investment and it takes a lot of time. So again, if you're planning for, you want work January and beyond, if you're looking to do sort of adverts, then they need to be started now to actually start generating the leads in time for that. So you have to think about timescales. So what can you implement now that's going to start generating you work for the future, for when you want to take on more clients? I think some people think is, I'm too busy, let's cut all marketing. Or I haven't got the money, let's cut all marketing. And the problem is you won't get more money if you cut your marketing because you won't have any leads to actually sell to. So that's never an option, even when you haven't got a lot of money to invest. It's about looking at what marketing strategies are more cost effective for you on that budget. I'm not saying stretch your budget. I'm not saying get into debt with marketing strategies. What I'm saying is you have to be mindful that cutting all marketing will not help the situation of generating more money and more leads and more sales. So that's one thing. The other thing is when people say I'm too busy now, I'm not interested in doing anything new, that's also fine. But keeping your marketing consistent means that everyone does have a drop-off period. It can happen. For me, we tend to drop off inquiries, but we're still fully booked right up till next year. So again, it's looking at next year's plan to make sure that we're getting the inquiries now to book in for next year, because the lead time is such a long period for landscapers from consultation, design and build.
Yeah, and I would say it's all about looking at an effective mix of marketing. Doing just one thing is a good place to start, but ultimately it's not going to bring you in the desired inquiries that you're looking for. And it doesn't have to always be labor intensive. We've spoken a lot on this podcast about setting up automated lead magnets, so like a brochure or things like that. And I think if you find yourself with the time at the minute, implement it. The worst thing you can do is try and busy yourself up with other things. Implement it now and you'll thank yourself later, because when you are busy, it means those automated marketing avenues are doing the work for you. So say in the winter you're doing 5 posts a week on social media. In the summer, you can reduce it to 3 posts a week to be consistent, but you have those other things in place that are continually bringing you in those inquiries.
Yeah, so effectively, we're here to say it's not just a one size fits all, and it's not just something when you're quiet. It's something to think of consistently, how you can be consistent all year round, even if it's, like Charlotte says, reducing posts when you're busy and increasing posts when you're quieter. It's about making sure that your marketing suits you and you're doing the right marketing to generate the right inquiries for you and your business. And that's different for all of us. And also making sure that what you're spending time on really counts, because there's nothing worse than feeling like you're spending lots of time, money and effort on something that isn't actually bringing you in what you want. And it won't be the same for everyone. So you could ask landscaper X who works in the same area as you, and they might get all their inquiries off Facebook, but their avatar might be so different to yours that you don't want the kind of work they're getting. So you've got to be mindful that all of our avatars are slightly different. What we want from our business is slightly different. What our goals are that we've set ourselves are going to be different for business and life, really.
Yeah, don't be swayed by what looks swanky or what your competitors are doing. Focus on what is going to be right for your business. And if you are a TLC member, obviously reach out in all the usual ways and ask us if you have questions or you're not sure what you think would be the best route, then we can help you with that.
Absolutely. So get in touch if you want any help. Obviously, links in the podcast to anything we think will be of interest to you. If you are a member, we have loads of topics on the inside that you can have a look at to see if some of the marketing strategies there would be best suited for you and your business.
Awesome. Thank you guys, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.